One of the all-time greats of championship wrestling from Florida. One of my favorites, whether he was the heel or the babyface, Bob Roop will be part of the CWF Legends Fanfest on Saturday, June 15th at Residence Inn by Marriott Tampa Suncoast in Lutz, Florida, which is around Tampa. And the Fanfest gives an opportunity for old fans and new fans to meet some of the legends from championship wrestling from Florida days. And Bob Roop, great amateur wrestler, great pro wrestler, thank you so much. What do you like about the CWF Legends Fan Fest?
Well, I like everything about it. I was a guest. First of all, thank you for having me on your show, and thank you to all you listeners out there who are listening in. By doing so, you're indirectly supporting me, even as a retired pro wrestler, and I really appreciate it. But the Fan Fest I was there last year. Steve Kern and I had done an angle 43 years ago, 44 now, that was pretty hot, and we were being sort of headlined. Ricky Steamboat is the headliner this year, one of them. Larry Zbyszko is certainly a top, certainly a name known to all wrestling fans. But that Steve and I were featured last year. It was so enjoyable, and meeting the fans and being able to interact with them. It's not like fans anymore. It's more like it starts out the same. It starts out with an FA, but it's not fan. It's family, because of the fact that we all now are aware of the inner machinations of the business and how it works, how it truly is operated, and the fact that we're interested more in what's going on behind the scenes, because you can just turn on the TV to see what's being presented publicly. But what's going on behind the scenes and what was going on behind the scenes way back when is more interesting to fans, and the fact that we can interact with them without having to try to lie and cover up and protect something that they respect, knowing everything about it. They're there, they respect it, they feel part of it. Many of it is endearing to them, very important, a seminal time in their lives. In many cases, young men who went to the matches with their fathers, and that was the most bonding of the time they had together, where they bonded closer than any other thing they did. I've had many father-son duos come up to me across the country and thank me for, I usually start out by saying, well, one of the things that brought us closer together was how much we hated your guts, but they'd be shaking my hand at the same time, that was, but back to the Fan Fest, I liked it so much that I asked Barry Rose if I could come back. I said, I'm going to be coming down here to visit my buddy Red Roberts, Dr. Red Roberts. His real name is Mike Brennan. He's one of the foremost forensic psychologists in the state of Florida, or maybe in the country. But he was also a great wrestler, Dr. Red Roberts. Locally, if he had gone national or worldwide, he's been as big a name as any of the ones you're hearing today. But I'm going to be visiting with him, and while I'm down there, I'd like to meet you personally, Jim, and shake your hand and say thank you. But I was going to be down there anyway. I'm coming back this year. Of course, for the Fan Fest, I just spent some time with my pal, and he lives in Davie. It's a little, Davie. It's a little incorporated city in Fort Lauderdale, and so. Yeah, I asked Barry last year, I asked him what it was over. I said, can I come back? I said, I'll put up chairs. I said, you don't have to pay me or feature me or anything, but can I come back? I'll put up chairs, do whatever. I just enjoyed, and mainly it was because meeting with the fans. But people will come up to you and they tell you why your career meant something to them, why they're there. And of course, not everybody that came to Fan Fest came to see me. Dory Funk Jr. was there. His stature was far higher than mine, and a lot of people came to see him. But the fans that did interact are former family members in budding, fans from long ago that did interact with me. It was very endearing, you know. It gives you relevance in terms of your life and relationships, and it's like new friendships you didn't realize you had, that actually, because of the fact that we shared something many, many years ago, a brand new interaction with someone at the Fan Fest, I'm actually meeting a friend that I've had for a long time, someone who helped support me and by paying admission to come watch the wrestling shows, who's still to this day willing to come and say hello and say, you know, and show their regard. Well, those are old gold friendships. They go back 40 years. So it's like finding a long-lost family member that you didn't know you had. Think of, you know, when they're appreciative and they're glad to see you, think about how welcoming that would be. And that's how I feel. So, yeah, being back this year. Now, as far as Legends, man, for people who, you know, the booking on this, I was a booker in several territories, and I look at the lineup of the Fan Fest, and Barry Rose and Dave Penzer have put together an unbelievable card. I mean, they've got the Cuban connection of Fidel and Ricky Santana, and also Supreme Referee Bruce Owens, who were all long-time, you know, members of CWF, who, you know, they were like living history books of way back when up to the current day. Their identity has been mainly connected with CWF, and so having them there for fans to interact with and share memories with, that's absolutely brilliant. And then having Scott Casey, Rip the Crippler Oliver, and those guys are big names. And there's another guy, Ricky Hunter, the Gladiator. I never met him, and I'm really looking forward to meeting him and talking to him, because he had a very, very interesting time when he worked for CWF. He butted heads with Eddie Graham, and he left when he actually gave his notice and left when he was at the height of his popularity. He was still making great money, and he butted heads. I think I should let him tell his story. I'm not going to tell his story for him, but I'm really looking forward to meeting with him, because Eddie Graham started me in the business, and to this day, even though our relationship soured, as so many of his relationships soured, and the unfortunate way that he ended his life is tragic, but still, he's a seminal figure in my life. He started me into a business that has me talking to you today. He started it, and I'm grateful to be talking to you today. So I'm grateful to Eddie Graham for getting me started. I mean, regardless of some of the things that happened that you know, had us not communicating later in my career, I'm grateful to him for getting me started. So, and should I take a breath? Maybe you want to say something, or should I just keep on raving about the guy? I'm so looking forward to seeing Larry Zbyszko again. I haven't seen and Ricky Steamboat. I had a match with Ricky very early in his career, and the absolute tribute is I remember working with him, but I don't remember the match. Now what that means is that match was a good match. The matches I remember are the ones that stunk, or somebody got hurt, or, you know, a riot or something extraordinary. But